Your state, your home, your voice. Jersey Central with Bert Barron on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC.
7:37 as we are back on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. Good morning to you. It's Bert's. It's a Friday. Thanks so much for being here today. We got our contest on the way. I've got a pair of tickets for Taste of Middlesex I'll be giving away a little bit later on this morning. Next traffic and weather update is on the way for you coming up at 7:45, so make sure you stick around for that. A lot of things that I told you about were happening in the month of February. We have the American Heart Association, the Go Red for Women movement that we've been doing in February, of course, and wearing red and talking about heart health. Black History Month, we have some interviews lined up. We have a bunch of content on our website as well. And I also wanted to dedicate the month of February to spotlighting some great local authors, and we've been having just a terrific interview series that we started at the beginning of the month with great New Jersey writers, and we've got a bunch more, of course, that are going to be joining me throughout the month of February. So let's get right to the Jersey Central Newsmaker Hotline and welcome in our next author here, who is a resident of Piscataway. He's had a bunch of poems, books of poetry that have also been published, 4 collections of poetry, and also has done a lot of writing as well. So I want to welcome Michael H. Hanson from Piscataway to Jersey Central this morning. Hey, Michael, it's Bert Barron. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, Bert, I'm fantastic. How's it going?
I'm good, and thank you so much. I kind of threw the net and threw the word out there that local authors, I was looking to get information from you, and you were one of the first guys to get back. So I thank you so much for that. And just looking at some of the work that you've had published, are you targeting kind of a young reader that's kind of likes the scary sort of stuff, Michael? Is that who you're kind of writing for?
Oh, absolutely. I've had in the last 15 years, I've written and sold over 90 short stories in science fiction, fantasy, and horror. So though I'd like to think that's a rather wide range of people, absolutely. Young readers are really the audience to go for.
What's the inspiration, Michael, when it comes to writing that sort of genre? That I read some of the stuff that you've written here, and it's fantastic. Is it like a nightmare comes to you, or you're inspired all of a sudden by something that you see or hear over the course of a day that kind of gets you going in a direction for some of the writing that you've done?
It's a little bit of everything. I've definitely been inspired by horror movies, horror short stories that I've read, but also like movies, science fiction. I was raised reading comic books. I lived overseas as an Army brat. We didn't have access to TV, and we would find fun where we could, using our imagination, borrowing comic books from each other, and just watching a lot of TV and, enjoying it all. And, yeah, I draw inspiration from all that.
Good for you. And I guess the goal of any writer, whether it's poetry like you've written and had published or some of these stories here, you're in the reaction business, Michael, much like I am. And when you get an emotional reaction out of someone that's read something you've written, that's kind of the payoff for you, right?
Oh, big time. I've been going to conventions, usually about 2 a year for the last 6 years. And there's nothing more fun than just autographing books and discussing ideas for future ideas with fans. It's great. I love it.
Awesome. Good for you. How many years have you been writing and had your work published?
I'm actually a late bloomer. I'm 56 years old, and it was around the age of 40 that a lot of crazy things happened. My mom passed away. I was divorced. And this just kind of opened my mind to everything. And I took a trip to Ireland for 2 weeks to spread my mom's ashes. Mm-hmm. And that really allowed my creativity to blossom for some reason. And I just started writing poetry every day, and I started writing and submitting short stories. And it's just been a big ride since then. I've really enjoyed it.
Good for you. And maybe you're kind of like in the same thing that I am, Michael, that I'm afraid that our younger generation is not really embracing great writing, like what you're offering nowadays, and what the legendary writers and authors and poets have all been able to, sort of keep alive for generations. We're raising a group of people that 140 characters is all you can kind of keep them in a conversation. What do you do to kind of keep that reader wanting more of your stories?
Ooh, that's a good question. In the end, I have to be honest, I just write what I like. I write everything that I wish I could have read when I was younger, everything that excited me, everything that still excites me. And like I said, fields of sci-fi, fantasy, horror. My poetry is a mix of both dark fantasy poetry, but also mainstream. I find myself in love with nature, talking about romance, unrequited love. I just think that there's a lot of people out there, of any age that are interested in the same things. The hard part is the marketing, finding that audience, getting their attention.
Yeah, you're right. Michael Hanson is our guest this morning on WCTC. Michael H. Hanson, and we're spotlighting great Jersey writers throughout the month of February. And still, if you have a book or some writing that's been published and you'd like to be featured this month, by all means, contact us. Michael did it through Facebook. That's a smart way to do it there. But reach out to us, and we'll try to get as many authors as we can possibly get booked through the month of February. Coming up later on this year, Michael, you're going to be having a short story that's going to be part of an anthology. You want to talk about that?
Oh, yeah, this one's a lot of fun. The short story is titled Chad, which is C period, H period, A period, D period. And there's a reason for that. The tribute anthology is titled Chud Lives. And as some people might realize, Chud is an acronym for, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dweller, which was a horror movie from the early 1980s.
I remember that. Okay.
Yeah. So it gives you an idea what the book's about. It's tribute anthology. We're all writing stories that are set at the same time in the same reality of this wild, crazy film. So it was a lot of fun to write for that, like a little piece of my memory from that time.
Really awesome stuff. Really great stuff. Where can someone go, Michael, to maybe check out some of your work or to purchase some of the things you've had published? How can we find out more information?
Oh, a couple of places. Go to Amazon.com, just type in my name, and you'll find my author page and all manner of anthologies that my work is in. You can also just type my name into a Google engine. Also, the publishing company that publishes a lot of my work is CopperdogPublishing.com.
Okay. We'll take a look there and see what's up. Yeah, go ahead.
Just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I've created this anthology series, which is a shared world series, which means each anthology is like a group novel, a lot of writers writing together, but in the same scenario. And it's called the Shada series. And the sixth book, the sixth volume of it, called Shada Toys, will be publishing in March of 2018, late next month. And I'm really pushing that a lot. It's kind of a mix of science fiction, fantasy, and horror. I think of it as the mother of all apocalypses, the Shada.
I like it. I like it a lot. Michael H. Hanson, thanks for your time today, and great success for you. And you know what? I was kind of a late bloomer in this industry, too, and what you're doing, you said at 40 before you started writing, you know what? If there's something that you need to do and you need to accomplish in life, don't let age stand in the way. Just make it happen, and it's remarkable where you can go with it, right?
Hallelujah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Have a great weekend, Michael. Thanks for your time this morning, all right?
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, Michael H. Hanson, my guest on the Jersey Central Newsmaker.